southern parts of Douglas County, getting a pretty good swath there near Chattahoochee Hills, coming down here a little bit to the south of the airport at this point. For those of you in Fairburn, you should expect a pretty good dose of shower activity in the way of snow showers. All snow today. And then once you get down to US 29 there, just to the north of Newnan in Coweta County, you're getting spray. This will eventually flow into Fayette County. For those of you there in Tyrone, all the way down to Peachtree City, and then up next would likely be Fayetteville. Likely a couple squalls inching closer to the airport. We'll have to check that camera momentarily to see if we're getting any ground signatures there. We're going to continue to see this activity fester across the area as we go throughout the afternoon and into the early evening for some, especially out east. So if you have not gotten snow yet, and I know there's a section of DeKalb County that is waiting on some accumulation to actually occur there are some bands out to the west that could possibly slide over your neighborhoods before this is all said and done. We'll track that as we get deeper into the hour. Alex, Tom.
Okay, Jonathan, we will check back with you very soon. We appreciate you watching our entire area for us. We do want to focus on some live images now and get a sense of what things are really doing in real time. So let's turn things over to Newton County.
And that is where we find Christopher King. We've had a changing of the guard. Christopher, with our reporters, you are providing perspective from there. It doesn't look too bad where you're standing.
Well, Tom and Alex, I really want your assignment today. So far, it's just really cold out here, and so far so good. Take a look over here. This is 278 near Emory Street in Covington. Roads were clear on the way over here. We saw some steady but only light flurries so far. I was back in Atlanta. Traffic was light over here to Covington. It seems like people are heeding the warnings. They're staying off the road, so driving here was pretty smooth. Now, that doesn't mean you should go out on the road.
Wow. Okay, Jonathan, we appreciate that. We do want to change perspective here and take a look at what's going on in Gwinnett County, which has been one of the hardest hit areas. Every time we check in, it's like a big blanket of snow.
Yeah, we just saw Rob DiRienzo up in Gwinnett off 316 where it was like whiteout conditions. Let's take you to Annie Mapp, who joins us now with a look at conditions there. It looks like you're standing in kind of the same situation that Rob was, Annie.
Yeah, we're not too far from where Rob is. I'm a little confused. I'm trying to figure out, am I in Georgia? Am I somewhere up north? Am I in New York? This is just so strange to see. But we have seen a lot of those same
impacting those of you who are to the east of 575 there. Okay, so let's kind of make this distinction. Cherokee County, mainly east of 575, going up to 400, so that puts Alpharetta, Milton in conversation, along with Forsyth County, Withrow coming in the mix, getting down into Peachtree Corners, Norcross, and Duluth. That's for southern and central Gwinnett County. And even those of you who are just to the north of Spaghetti Junction here in DeKalb County, I'm not sure if Decatur is going to actually get something. So Redan, Lithonia, getting down into the Tri-Cities, I'm not sure if that's possible. But as we move further to the east here along the I-85 corridor, as you get out to Barrow County, going up into Walton County, I think the opportunity once again, you're going to get another healthy swath, and that comes through around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Clark, Oconee County is due for more of that action as well. Still not done by the 3 o'clock hour. Stick with us, and I'm going to walk you through the part of the forecast that takes you into the late afternoon and early.
All right, Jonathan, we'll check back in with you. Thanks. Let's get up to Blairsville, one of the areas that Jonathan said is still enduring a lot of this snow that's moving through the area.
Let's check in now with Denise Dillon, who is all bundled up. Good to see you, Denise.
I need to be bundled up. 7 layers at this point, and there may be more before the end of the day. Here in Union County, they are telling people to stay home. Grab a book, sit on the couch, have some coffee, have some hot chocolate, but just stay home. And here's why. If you take a look, there is a good amount of snow on the ground that has fallen. And if you look at the road,
probably outside the window of.
So, John, hold on one second. If we could, and I don't know if they can do this, pull up the camera that shows the Lenox Road, Georgia 400 corridor, the traffic camera in Buckhead.
Looks like Alex is on it right now. Appreciate this all hands on deck situation.
Yeah, but the reason I asked, Jonathan, I'm going to come back to it, is, you know, you guys keep talking. There's the interchange right there. Like 10 minutes ago is really, really snowy. Doesn't look too bad right now, but as you say, these are fast-moving bands of snow that can suddenly start accumulating on the roadway there. Thankfully, it doesn't look like nearly anybody is out on the roads right now. But is there a story tomorrow where up in the further reaches of Gwinnett and some of those outlying counties where they have significant amounts of snow and precipitation on the ground and the temperatures take a dive? Is there a story out there tomorrow where people are going to have to be super duper careful out on the roadways because there's going to be a ton of frozen precip left behind?
It's going to actually be a factor of human interaction. So there are certain areas, and I think Tara Tabor really showed this well in one of her live hits, I believe it was, where there's slush that's being created as a result of people trudging through snow on the roadways. And those are going to be the icier areas where you've had friction or interaction with that snowfall that was actually on a surface. Those are the trickier spots because that turns to liquid sometimes because of the friction, and oftentimes it will refreeze, and that creates a better sheet of ice than just snow that is sitting there on the ground for hours at a time. So it will be the areas that have already been trod, the areas that people thought were okay, that end up, leading to some other issues. Now, this is North Fulton County, taking you up past Alpharetta. This would be getting closer to the the Fulton Forsyth County line, McFarland Parkway, State Route 400 there, moving northbound, and this is pretty significant there. And it looks like I think this may be a freeze frame here, but it looks like there's some vehicles there. I'm not sure if they're disabled though. But you can see here road conditions deteriorating quickly. So this is just to the north of the Fulton Forsyth line in Forsyth County at McFarland Parkway. Alex, what are you saying?
I was going to jump in, actually, Jonathan, if you don't mind. Yeah. What I appreciate about this platform is that we're able to answer people's questions in real time. Yeah. So I appreciate that you have been able to talk about some of our coworkers' commute, what we're going to go out there and experience shortly. But some people are asking specifically about Rome and Athens. So we've got a question coming from TJ Theo, 3584, who must not have been able to see some of what Miles Garrett was showing us in the past hour of the conditions there. So they specifically want to know if they can make it from Athens to Rome for an event. And I feel like Miles's live shot was really telling, but what are you able to show to address that specific question?
Athens to Rome, Athens, Georgia to Rome, Georgia, I wouldn't try it today. I'm just going to be blatantly honest with you. There are too many secondary roads between Athens and Rome. Rob DiRienzo has been trying to make his way into Athens and really got stuck there in Gwinnett County. What you're looking at here is another radar that we have to work with here. But if you were to get on 29 or 78 for that matter, 29 or 78, no matter how you want to get, those are your two options to get to 85 or to get into the Atlanta metro area from Athens, from Clark County. Clark, Oconee counties, if you need to get out, you could possibly take 129 that takes you up to Jefferson and 85 there, but it's really 29 or 78. That's the only way out. And you're going to run into issues in Barrow County. There's Winder there, maybe not in Winder proper. If you take a trip through Walton County, that's not going to work because once again, and keep in mind, while we do treat these roads like they're interstates, these are highways. And so they work to keep them clear, but they will also collect precipitation or accumulation much faster than other roads.
All right. A lot of people talking about the airport and getting in and out of Hartsfield-Jackson. Is this the kind of weather that inhibits air travel? Or, I mean, we know that planes can take off and land in the snow, certainly. Haven't heard of significant delays, but a lot of people on our chat wondering about the airport.
Yeah, with the temperature continuing to go down, I don't think there will be so many issues in terms of the tarmac because Alex and I have been looking at that, and here's the live lookout right now. But what you're going to find with the temperature being at some 23 degrees right now in Atlanta is the de-icing factor. And de-icing is something that it happens faster. You guys know this. You've been in Boston and Chicago. They can de-ice a plane there quickly. Here in Atlanta, we don't de-ice planes so quickly. So for your afternoon, late afternoon, and evening flights, I don't think they're going to be in exact peril because of the current weather situation in terms of the atmosphere. But with the temperature dropping and there being precip out there, they're going to have to likely start their de-icing efforts, and that just creates delays. That's as simply as I can possibly put it, that will be the attendant issue until there are issues on the tarmac. And it looks like, at this present moment that there is no accumulation sticking there. But you have to consider where you're flying to. If you're trying to fly into the Carolinas, it's a no-go for today.
We've seen planes coming in and out, so it looks like things are running there. Okay, Jonathan, thanks. Our winter weather continues now. I want to bring you up to Gainesville.
Yeah, Tara Jabor has been showing us the conditions there. At last check, they were quite slushy. Is the snow still falling significantly where you are?
But it's a lot less than what we were seeing about an hour ago. This is Jesse Jewell Parkway over here, and as you can see, the roads, they look pretty good right now. They are a lot clearer than what we showed you guys just an hour ago, but of course there still is that slush. Now they got about 3 inches of snow so far.
Once again, this is like we're kind of seeing a reamping up of the activity, especially as this swath slides down into South Gwinnett County. We had heard a lot from folks from Snellville to Norcross, even Duluth and Peachtree Corners. You hadn't really got in on what your neighbors have gotten in on from Lawrenceville to the north. Now is your opportunity, and that opportunity extends down through DeKalb County, going out into Rockdale, making your way further out 20, also for Walton County, and we will even throw Morgan County in the mix, as basically these two bands are just kind of clustering together. We call this a convergence zone, if you will, and that's where we could see some pretty solid snow bursts over the next, I'd say, hour to hour and a half. I'm going to walk you through the timing of all of this, especially as we approach the 2 o'clock hour.
All right, Jonathan, thanks. And we want to thank you for streaming with us here on Fox Locals. It's been a fun few hours seeing what's happening across